Good morning. It's Thursday, the 31st of October. Welcome back to Take 5. And today and tomorrow, we're going to be looking at another Bible character from the book of Judges. It's the character of Samson. And this is going to take us across 4 chapters, 2 today and 2 tomorrow. And we're going to look at the first 2 just now, which is chapters 13 and 14 from the book of Judges, looking at the character of Samson. Now, like many of the Old Testament characters, Samson is deeply flawed. But his life is a life that I think very much fits 2 halves. The first half of his life, where he has really everything going for him, but he starts to make poor decisions. And then, as we'll see tomorrow, how that then filters out into the second half of his life. Because Samson had an amazing start. He was consecrated from as soon as his parents knew that they were expecting him. He was consecrated to God. He was kept away from alcohol. He was told not to cut his hair. These were both symbols of Samson being set apart for a really holy and godly purpose in his life. He had everything going for him. Godly parents bringing him up in the right way. And yet he had these insatiable desires for women, desires for having pride, and also anger, off the scale anger. And he's a real example of how God can use our early childhood experiences to create a wonderful foundation. And yet the decisions that we make as to how we use that foundation are down to us. And in the same way, some of us will come from really difficult upbringings, really difficult early life experiences, and yet we're not defined by those. We can still make fantastic choices and see God's kingdom come through our life and through the decisions that we make. But unfortunately, that is not what Samson did. We see from various little snippets through the narrative that God was using the circumstances to achieve his purposes, for Samson to destroy the Philistines. But at the same time, Samson is on the rampage. I do think that reading the Old Testament accounts sometimes can be a different way of reading the Bible. We look at what is the sweep of the narrative and what can we learn from the characters rather than taking a memory verse and applying it to our lives. And I think this is one of those situations where we look at Samson and we think, in what ways am I like him? What ways am I not like him? Because you have been given an opportunity today, and as part of Sunny Hill Church, to have good stuff put into you, to live a life of holiness, to be surrounded by people who love God and are pursuing him as well. And what do we do with that? What do we do with that spiritual upbringing? Do we use it to benefit our soul and the world, or do we ignore it, take it for granted and mistreat it? So, sobering thought, something to think about. I look forward to speaking to you tomorrow when we are going to, I'm very sad to say, spoiler alert, see what happened to Samson, and it's not great. Okay, bless you, have a good day.